Welcome, EPICS judges. Today we're here from West Point High School, and we're talking about our driving simulator. And some people that will be presenting with me today are Daniela Ramirez Mesa, German Urias, Graciela Emma Visca, Eric Ramirez, Ariana Guerra, Jorge Martinez, and David Lacayo.
So the industrial and engineering technologies. So there's going to be planning, managing, and providing scientific research in creating the driving simulator and professional and technical services. Example, physical science, social service, and engineering, including laboratory and testing services and research and development services.
Our community partner and stakeholders we are planning to serve. MIHUG is an organization serving parents of children with special abilities in Arizona. We support parents to become better prepared to meet the needs of their children. We are looking to be funded by grants from the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Special Education Programs, the Children's Trust, and various foundations, and your donations. Our main goal is to have a community-wide program that can provide information, educational training, and support to families who have children and young adults with disabilities and/or special needs.
This is our first initial meeting with Mr. Sanchez. We have been communicating with him since December. During this meeting, he has told us his personal story and what he wants us to do.
The stakeholder wants us to create a solution for people with special needs so that they will be able to drive independently. They want us to take into account multiple disabilities and sensitivity that different people have within the community. They want us to have a solution by creating certain feelings and sounds to help with the effectiveness of our product. Some of the issues that need to be addressed in our product will be noise, movement, headwear, and distractions.
Can people with disabilities actually drive? Research shows that people with learning disabilities are already driving. 2 of every 3 of young adults or adolescents who have a high-functioning form of autism are already driving or wanting to learn to drive. According to research, 1/3 of autistic individuals without intellectual disability obtain their driver's license by the age of 21. When it comes to driving with neurodevelopmental disorders, it all depends on the individual and their ability to demonstrate good judgment and maturity. Most of the times, the families and individuals go through a series of steps to ensure that they are ready and prepared to start driving. Many who have an autism diagnosis can and successfully drive.
The founder of a nonprofit, Mr. Eric Sanchez, described the Latin community has helped children and teenagers with intellectual and developmental disabilities in Arizona, with families from lower to middle class. Some of the requirements Mr. Eric gave us was initial budget between $200 and $600, project proposals to be submitted to MIHUG on 3/11/2021, first prototype to be presented to MIHUG on 4/1/2021. A final simulator solution should fit within a 20 feet to 15 feet room. A simulator solution should have at least limited mobility. It can be moved if needed.
The engine. We would be using Unreal Engine 4, which is an engine that allows you to make professional games, films, and architectural designs. And these are our phases of progress, which phase 1 is our small-scale prototype. The prototype of the cockpit would have features such as a driver's seat and seatbelt, steering wheel, turn signals, braking clutch pedals, rear and side mirrors, ignition switch, and parking brakes. And then our second phase would be sensor placements. Motion sensors would be placed around the prototype, such as a car door, the steering wheel, the ignition switch, the seatbelt, and braking clutch pedals. The sensors would make a noise once triggered, enforcing the thought process during the task. And the third phase would be the virtual environment. A digital environment would be made for the user that features immersive driving, realistic physics, 6 dimensions of freedom, and this would improve the confidence of the user by being in an environment while being safe.
The specific teams that will use this simulator would go through a pre-flight checklist, meaning that when they get in the simulator before any of the driving happens or any of the actual teaching of the driving, they will be instructed on what to do before they even begin, e.g. putting seatbelts on, checking mirrors, adjusting seat, making the car overall comfortable for them to drive in. The simulator will then tell them step by step what to do, but even before they get to drive, they will continuously be taught and quizzed, about where to begin so that confusion would rarely occur.
Some necessary skills that are needed to be considered are suitable motor skills when controlling the wheels, brakes, pedals, and turning signals, being able to focus on the road for various periods of time, to recognize and follow the rules of the road and accept the consequences when those rules are broken, flexibility to adjust to different elements and have proper reactions. The student will learn how to use the following: putting on a seatbelt, the rear view and side mirrors, steering wheels with the turn signal, brake and clutch pedals, ignition switch, parking brake, and monitoring their speed.
And now we're going to go over the special instructions that we have. So special instructions that you have when you get into a car is, the routine things like have a checklist to check all your mirrors, to check how much gas you have and if you need some. You also check to make sure you have your seatbelt on before driving. And remember, while you're driving, to look for special signs such as like speed limit signs or school zone signs.
My name is Jose, and these are 3 pictures of my prototype. A portion of the money we're going to be using is to buy sensors that we're going to place in this little prototype. And in this prototype, we are using a motor to simulate movement of the wheel.
A portion of the money requested to EPICS is for purchasing the Raspberry Pi and the simulation's main parts. This over here is my personal setup, but we're going to have to get one for the school.
Thank you for taking your time and listening to our presentation. Remember, we are West Point High School EPICS team, and we just wanted to tell you this project isn't just about an EPICS project. These are real world problems where people who have intellectual disabilities, where they struggle. So that's the real reason we need the $600 is because this project will be used in the community, not just in a project.